It's supposed to be garden tour Saturday this morning, and I was getting all ready to film, and then I noticed my shadow, and I was like, oh no, we're having a shadow fight this morning. And then I realized I could have so much fun with shadows and my camera. Oh my goodness, shadow magic is amazing. Like, really, you can do all kinds of fun things with shadows. Like, the images are just so much fun, and I can only imagine what the editing will be like.
Hard to explain it, my heart is racing, and I can't take it anymore. I just want you around me, kissing me softly, our bodies taking control. When you look at me, it's hard to breathe, it's ecstasy. The way you feel me, I have no control. When you're touching me, it's hard to leave, it feels so free. It's an awakening, just don't let go.
Good morning. Welcome to a gorgeous day on Vancouver Island. It is garden tour Saturday today. Today is Friday, March the 16th, and we are checking out all of the garden highlights. I literally just heard a bee buzz in my ear, and that makes me so happy. I didn't see the bee, but I heard it. And the other day I saw a wasp on my front balcony. So the pollinators are coming out of hibernation, and I am so excited. Today's video is a collaboration video with the one and only Grandma Sandy. Go check her out. She is the queen of fairy gardens on YouTube, co-hosted by Suffolk Susie in Long Island, New York. Patricia and Cube in the southern United States, and Barb Daly Rural Life somewhere in the mountains of northern United States, maybe Washington, maybe Oregon, not really sure. Check out all these lovely channels. They do garden tours every Saturday and sometimes more often. We're starting off the tour with a little shadow magic. I absolutely love different types of lighting and how shadows are cast. You can see the reflection of my knockout roses on the fence in the morning light. Very cool. Here is my bulb border underneath my 5 variety cherry tree, and the bulbs are in full swing. Nothing is blooming yet, but so much growth. There are daylilies, daffodils, and a few wildflowers in this border. And the daffodils are just starting to get their flowers forming, nowhere near open, but it's been a really slow, cold spring, so that's probably why they're taking their time to show their colors. My raspberries are putting on a whole bunch of fresh growth. You can see lots of leaves and buds on these bushes. These were all self-seeded from the neighbors. I never planted a single one of these. And in fact, I tried to get rid of them when they first started growing because they're in the grass, and then I embraced it a few years later. If they plant themselves, let them be. Behind the raspberries, going into my little rockery crevice garden, we have some creeping phlox. These were transplants and divisions and propagations from my mother plants, mostly in the front garden, and they're about to bloom soon. Well, I don't know about that. I think they're gonna bloom, and they are putting on new growth. Usually they're kind of an April-May bloomer, so it's a little soon, but I swear they're getting their flower buds already. Looking really nice here with some traditional moss that you see all over the Pacific Northwest. No, this was not planted. This grows naturally everywhere in the Pacific Northwest. And moving up the slope, I might spy a flower. Do I? No, I don't. This is my purple abretia. I've shown it in a few garden tours recently. I keep saying it's going to bloom soon and the buds are there. And it's been so slow this spring. It is not blooming yet, but anytime now. We're supposed to get 15 to 16 degrees Celsius today and for a couple days. So maybe that'll be enough heat to get these flowers finally blooming. And this mystery plant that I showed in a few videos already is absolutely thriving. Still not sure what it is, but hope it's not a weed because it's growing really well here. We venture a little further over on the slope and check out a few more plants. And one of the only flowers that is blooming on this backyard slope are these little Johnny Jump Up pansies. Didn't plant these. I have them all over the front garden, and finally they're emerging in the back, which makes me so happy. There's actually several blooms on this one plant. And just below we have a bunch of poppies. Oh, there's another pansy. I didn't know. There's a second pansy plant and flower. Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. We have the one here, and then I don't know if you can tell in the background, we have another pansy up there. So there are two of them on this slope. I am so delighted, and even more delighted that they're purple. Purple is my favorite color. Back on the bottom of the slope now, we have these little hens and chicks. They're doing really well. Lush growth happening here. There's another little succulent right beside them. And more of my creeping phlox. It is everywhere on this slope. Kind of a crevicey type garden right here. Oh my goodness, these are hens and chicks, and I put them into little indentations on the rock, kind of similar to where this moss naturally grows. Took it out and put these in, and I think it is so cool growing right on the rocks. Probably gonna try to do that a little more this season, put more of these into the little rock crevices. Journeying up the slope, we have some more flowers in bloom. Just starting. These are my candy tuft ground covers. I have a few of them. These are a pure white evergreen ground cover. Let's zoom in a little more. You can see so many flower buds on this little ground cover. And if we go over to this side of the bush, zoom out, you can see these flowers are definitely a little bit more open over here, and they are absolutely gorgeous. And a little further over on the slope, we have seedling city happening over here. There are so many flower seedlings, and honestly, I don't know what they are. I put so many packages, many wildflower mixes, among other things, in the fall and early spring and winter. And I've got all kinds of stuff coming up here. So it's going to be such a surprise what actually flowers. That is what I love about seed mixes. I feel like they are wild cards of flowers, and you never know what you're going to get, and that makes gardening so much fun. Here's a little look at the lower tier of the garden and the upper tier, and we have a few more plants to check out along this upper tier. This is another version of candy tuft. It looks quite a bit different than the one I just showed you with the white flowers. Also known as Iberis, this is actually a pink version, but its growth pattern and leaves are somewhat different than the white one I showed you. This one grows in a more compact form, definitely evergreen. The leaves are even darker than the first one. And this one gets pinkish purple flowers. Haven't actually seen this bloom. I planted it last season, and yes, I bought it. And it almost grows in a bonsai fashion. I think that is super cool and super interesting. It doesn't seem to spread as much. If we look at the information, sun to part shade, 6 to 8 inches tall, blooms spring and fall, pink flowers with dark pink centers. Perfect for rock gardens and border fronts. This is a drought-tolerant plant once established. We are going to journey down the gravel pathway and check out some more plants. I spy a little bit of color coming down this pathway. And here is my sea glass stepping stone. I actually made this quite a few years ago, and that's not what I was going to show you, but I thought it is colorful and it is on the pathway, so take a look at that before you see this, the first bit of color on the pathway. These are my daffodils that are closest to opening in the entire garden. So exciting! Look at that cheerful burst of yellow color. It just makes my heart so happy to see this color in the garden. Now we're going to take a look at one of my roses. This is my double pink knockout rose, and it is putting on some lovely new growth. The fresh leaves are just starting to emerge. Lots of buds on it with new growth. Exciting times in the garden. And let's just take a sneak peek at the cottage garden. Not a lot has changed in here since you last saw it. I see my squirrel has been up to no good. Who knows what he's been up to? These little poppy transplants that I showed in one of my most popular videos are doing just fine, putting on new growth. My tulips that I did in my bulb repelling video, the experiment, they are still going strong, and no critters have been munching that I'm aware of, although there might have been a bug. No rodents have been around, so huge win, and I'm so excited that my bulb repelling mulches actually worked. If you're interested in what those mulches were, I will link a video in the description that you can check out on how to repel rodents from spring bulbs. And coming down into this side bulb border, which I spotted another daffodil blooming. I had no idea. I don't check the yard every single day, so sometimes flowers open and I have no idea. There is another daffodil blooming. Look at that. Oh my gosh, so excited right here. Lovely pop of color, and there is another one right here that is getting close to blooming. So exciting. And the grape hyacinths are coming along. I showed in one of the last tours that they were just starting to emerge, and they are getting their bloom on. So beautiful. I love the purple. There's a few here, and then there's a few scattered ones here and there in this little bulb border. And even some way at the back, close to the house, here, there, and everywhere we have little grape hyacinths. This water is giving me very much wheelbarrow water garden vibes. Might have to take out my fairy garden stuff and play around with that. We are going to venture into the rock garden. Not a ton to see there, but a few little highlights here and there to check out. Entering the rock garden. There is a boulevard fairy garden. I was going to make a video, but a few of my pieces actually disappeared from here, which is totally fine. I actually kind of promote that. It's take a rock, leave a rock, but sometimes the pieces are too, which is fine. I don't mind, but I had a different display planned, so I wasn't actually going to do an official fairy garden video here because some of my favorites items went missing, and that is okay. Somebody else is enjoying them, but I thought I would give you just a little highlights of this other St. Patrick's Day garden that I created for the neighbors. Little bits of good luck here, there, and everywhere. And I had a very special character that was related to this mushroom that is gone, and that is totally fine, but it did give the storyline a lot more interest, so that's why I'm not going to tell a story this time with this fairy garden. But one of the pieces of the story is that these green ladybugs are super rare, and they've been spotted more and more often, and they have so much good fortune attached to them that they are just putting that good fortune into this little world of good luck and good fortune here on the boulevard for all of the world to enjoy. There's even one on this rainbow rock that has appeared in this good luck garden. Quick little look at my wallflowers en route to some more flowers. These wallflowers are about to bloom. They're a beautiful evergreen, and I planted this from a wildflower mix. And perennial in this area, Zone 7, Vancouver Island. They get red to orange, gorgeous flowers, and I'll definitely show them in a future tour. And I'm going to show you another plant that I don't think I've ever talked about on this channel. This plant is extremely drought tolerant, and it's called Rose Companion, and I absolutely love these leaves. They're very fuzzy, which is actually a characteristic of many drought tolerant plants. They have a blue-green color, and they get purpley fuchsia colored flowers in summer, and I'll pop a picture of their flowers on the screen so you can see what they look like. They come back year after year and are awesome for a drought tolerant landscape. Sweet little pansy flower blooming. And I just have to show you this fairy. No joke, I did not put this fairy dust in here. Not kidding at all. I did put these marbles in here when I set this display up a few months ago. And a couple months ago, shortly after I set this up, this actually just appeared in the container, this fairy's little wishing well that she's got going on. I don't know if this is real fairy magic at play, but something's definitely at play in this garden, and I have no idea where it came from. Can only assume that it is actually fairy magic that is happening amongst all these plants and flowers. These periwinkle blue and purple flowers right here. So pretty. I absolutely love these. These are anemones. And they're some of the earliest flowers in my garden that bloom. I love these shades of purple and blue. They are just so gorgeous. And meet the latest fairy addition to my garden. I thrifted her this morning actually. I thought she was so beautiful and adds so much character to this garden. She is the guardian of these anemones, and this is her home right here in this mushroom house. Just have to show you my Pyrrhus bush. Here it is, a lovely variegated evergreen, and it is just starting to bloom. Absolutely love these beautiful white blooms, and they have a mild fragrance. Oh my god, it smells so good. I used to have a very significant allergy to almost all flower pollens, and in the last year and a half or so, my allergies have 95% disappeared. That's a topic for a whole other video, but I love being able to smell flowers again and taking almost no medication anymore. It is delightful. Coming over this way, I don't think I've actually showed these since I remade these on the same day I redid my other containers. These pieces are from this season at Dollar Tree, and we have more Pyrrhus cuttings in these containers mixed with rhododendron and a fairy. A really simple display, but I love it, and it cost me nothing other than the cost of the brand new mushroom and the fairy I already had. So basically $1.25, no, $1.50. And coming up here, another repurposed display. These are grasses I already had, some rhodos and Pyrrhus. pansies I already had, some English daisies I already had, and another Dollar Tree fairy house for $1.50. The fairy has been in my collection for a couple years already. Very inexpensive container makeover for spring. Thank you for watching today's garden tour shadow video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.